Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Happy Saturday. I told you guys, and especially if you're following me on Zena Sessions, that I was going to do a life update video and just do some more personal videos since this is my personal channel. I recorded this video more than once, y'all. Like the first video I recorded, the sound was staticky, I guess, or muffled, whatever you want to say, because I was driving and the device I have on my car, I don't know if it just wasn't stable enough, but it was making like a ticking noise while I was trying to talk when I did the playback and heard the editing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, can't use that. That's not a good quality video. Then on my way back home, when I parked in my garage, I realized the lighting was off. So I'm like, what the heck? So I'm just gonna have to redo the whole video, but that's okay because I love y'all and I mess with y'all like that and y'all mess with me like that. So I don't mind redoing the video, okay? So first, let's get into the hair. Do y'all like the hair? Because, you know, I was gonna just put on a wig today and call it a day like I've been doing, but I wanted to put some rollers on my head and, you know, just do like an old look. I haven't done a like rod out or like a roller set in years, y'all. Like so long. It's probably been like maybe 4 years since I've done a roller set. So I put some rollers in my head last night, but I didn't really like those rollers. I got them from Amazon and they're the kind that's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Furry, like the furry rollers. I don't really like those because it gets in the way of the other hair, but I hit it with the curling iron as well to kind of touch up. So I do like this side more than this side. This side's a little bit more frizzy, but my natural hair is frizzy like this. So, and plus it rained on me, so some of it got frizzy, but I do like the big curl look. I love big fluffy curls. So yeah, I am liking the curls. I might have to do curls more often, but yeah, so that's that. Went to the DMV today, had to get another ID, my here, well, I guess this is part of the life update. So there are a couple things that we have to get tied up as far as like me and my ex-husband with the divorce. Number one, we have to get this house situated. So we did come up with an agreement of selling the house. So we looked into some companies because instead of selling it to a person and getting a realtor, we're just going to sell it to a company. It's going to be a lot easier for me because obviously I live here. So I'm not trying to like get up and at any hour and get me and my kids out the house so they can take a look at the house, like when showings come, and invest in like fixing up the house. Like rather just sell it to a company as is so I can just move on about my life, okay? Because I have stuff to do. So we at least came to an agreement of that. We signed the paperwork to that company and hopefully we can get all that situated and closed. I don't plan on moving until after the school year. I'm going to let my kids finish up the school year. But after that, I do plan on moving. We also have a car. Now, I got a car for my ex-husband a long time ago for his birthday. So it is in my name. And one of the biggest hassles that for me personally was having to try to like reach out like, hey, you know, the payment is due on this date and blah, 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 blah. Well, finally he was able to get that paid off a little early. So, which is great because we already had to wait for the title to come in. And then once I received the letter for the title, see, I thought personally that was the title, that we could just go to the DMV that way and switch it in his name. But actually, when I went to the DMV today, because I needed to get another ID, they told me that they needed to go ahead and put the title in my name. Then that needed to come in the mail, and then we can go and do that. So I'm so glad I brought that up in the DMV, because that's not even the reason I went, because that's like a 3-week estimated time wait for that to even come. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did that, because that would have sucked right around the time I'm trying to move and let's get all this stuff done. I would have to wait on that when I'm really trying to just get everything done around the same time. So yep, I'm currently waiting on the title, and then both the house and the car situation can be completely done and situated. So I will be glad about that, okay? That I can finally cut certain like legal ties this year. That would be great, okay? So As far as other life updates go, so many of you guys already know your girl is engaged. I've already told y'all that. Y'all know that. But I never shared the story. So it's not really a long, in-depth story. It's pretty quick, but I'll just go ahead and get to it because I never shared it. So, it was Valentine's Day weekend. And we planned on already traveling Valentine's Day weekend. We already planned on going to Las Vegas. So that's what I was doing. Packed up my stuff. My sister so happened to also plan on going to Las Vegas Valentine's Day weekend as well with her boyfriend. So we so happened to even book the same flight, y'all. So we both flew out. I said flew out. I'm so used to making those videos. We both flew out Friday. Me, my sister, and her boyfriend. My boyfriend at the time was already there. Okay, so he was already in Vegas. I was just flying to him. So we ended up flying together, and then my sister and her boyfriend came back the day after. So I flew back by myself on Sunday, and they was coming back Monday. So we didn't get to fly back together. But when I got there, I got a rental. So I went ahead and dropped my sister and her boyfriend off to their hotel. And our hotels were actually pretty close to each other. It was probably like a maybe 5-minute walking distance, but it wasn't far at all. So I dropped them off, and then me and my boyfriend, we already had plans of like, and I'm saying boyfriend because this is before me telling the story, is obviously in the time frame of us still being boyfriend and girlfriend instead of like married and all these kind of things. So you know, me and him, we already had plans of going out to eat. We had a reservation and all of those things. So we went ahead and went to our reservation. It was the Catch. It was good. So I'm gonna be including like, if I can still find the clips, which I should still have them on Snapchat, I'm gonna include them on the side while I'm talking. But we went to the restaurant, The Catch, which is definitely recommended. It was one of the highly recommended places on TikTok for Las Vegas restaurants. So that's why we went. We already had a reservation. We went there to eat. And then after that, we went to go see the waterfall show. It starts with the B. I can never think of the name, but he was asking me if I wanted to go see it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. He was like, well, it's not far from here at all, so we can just walk straight to there after here. And I'm like, okay, cool. So like after we ate and stuff like that, even at dinner, he gave me this necklace. So, you know, I was thinking like, okay, this is my Valentine's Day gift. Thank you. Like, I appreciate that. And it was this necklace. This is my birthstone. So, you know, we went ahead and walked over to the water show. It's like a big water show in front of the Caesar's Palace. It's real big. Again, I'm gonna include clips, and it has music playing and all of those things. So we walked there, we got there, and the water show did not start yet. So I was looking up what time the water show would start, and it said like it goes on from different time frames, like every 20-30 minutes, etc. So we were sitting there waiting for it to start. And then it finally started. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And he was like, just like you. And I was like, okay, you trying to get some. But, you know, so we just watching the water show. And he was like, you know why I brought you out here tonight? And remind you, I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at the water show like, oh my God, this is nice. And he on the side of me talking. He's like, you know why I brought you out here? And I'm like, yeah, you know, so we can see the water show. Again, not even looking at him. I'm like, yeah, so we can see the water show. And then he was like, no, I brought you out here because I wanted to ask you to be my wife. Y'all, I was shocked. I was shocked for quite some time. And I dropped my purse. I think I dropped my phone too. Like, I just dropped everything. I was just in complete shock. I was like, oh, like that. And then I turned around and he was on one knee. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was just like really shocked. And then I started crying. And then I gave him a hug. And I was so shocked to the point I forgot to answer him. And he's like, is that a yes? I'm still shocked. And I'm like, yeah, of course, yes. But I was just so shocked I forgot to answer him, y'all. So it was so funny. He's like, is that a yes? So that's pretty much what happened. Like, I was just really shocked. I was happy. Like, I think I was even shaking a little bit because I was just nervous and like, yeah. So it was great. And this is it right here. Is a pretty wing. We actually went to the jewelry, a jewelry shop the next day because it was fitting a little snug, and I actually want my rings to fit like this. I actually like them even fitting a little bigger so that because I don't know, like I hold water retention sometimes, so sometimes like my fingers swell up, especially like in the morning, sometimes on and off. But yeah, so I like my rings a little bigger, so we went anyways though, just to get it sized how it needed to be sized. And yeah, this is the this, obviously a lot of y'all already seen this, but this is my ring. Like I really actually love it. I think it's very, very pretty. It has the baguette diamonds in it, so it's like these rows are going one direction and this row is going like a whole nother direction. So it's really pretty, way prettier in person, but yeah, it's really pretty. And what's crazy about this is I was not expecting this ring either. Like I showed him the rings that I wanted as far as like the designs that I thought, which like oval, like the pearl, like stuff. I'm just showing different like designs that were like ideal. And then he actually proposed with this one. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you got that ring because it's way better than what I chose. It's very unique and, you know, I love it. Like these are baguette diamonds in the middle. Love it. Really, really pretty. So yeah, that is my engagement story. So we had a blast and we spent the weekend doing different things, and yeah, I ended up going back home on Sunday, and that was that. So with that being said, obviously that is a big life update, and we have a lot of plans for the future. I'm not going to talk about all of those, but we do have a lot of plans for the future. We do plan on moving in together. I know that some people, I'm sure, was like, oh, are you gonna move in with him? Like, I know my friends was asking us, so are you guys moving in together? And, you know, things of that nature. And yes, we have not lived together. I'm a person to where I will not just up and live with somebody unless I really, really, really feel comfortable. I only actually have lived with one person, and that was my ex-husband. And so this is going to be, you know, the second time that I'm kind of doing that. But you have to like be mindful and careful anyway when you have kids involved. You can't just be upping and moving in with people. Like I personally feel like if it's not, you know, somebody who you are married to or going to be married to, then I don't feel like you should just up and move with them. But that's just my opinion. Okay. So yeah, we will be moving in together. The kids have to obviously finish their school year first. And then once they finish their school year, we will be getting a place together. So I'm very excited for that and starting our lives together. Very happy about that. As far as any other life updates go, the kids are doing good. They're doing great. My daughter, I know I had some people watch the divorce story and kind of ask me, you know, stuff about my daughter and things like that. And she's actually doing pretty well. She's doing great, actually. She, overall, I want to say from that time frame of what she went through, like mentally and emotionally, she's probably at about like a 90%, I want to say. Like, I feel like she might go through little stuff like any other kid go through stuff. She might have her moments, but overall, like 90%, she's a lot better. She's a lot more active. She's a lot more open with her emotions. Like, I don't have to like try to get her to like communicate and open up when she's upset. It might take about a quick second and then she'll open up and say, I feel this way because of this, or I feel this way because of that. So she's just growing up. She's doing great. I really do, again, feel like therapy has truly, truly helped her. So she is doing awesome. She is doing great. My son, he is being a little boy, y'all. He is just, whoo, he is very active. He be talking stuff like you know, he's just being a little boy. I'm just trying to make sure to get him more involved in active things, because, you know, kids love their tablets, and he one of them who love his tablet. So I signed him up for some things, some more sports and stuff, which he was in, but they have been like kind of on a mini break from it right now. But just trying to get him to stay active, but he's doing good. And of course, my little baby girl, she's doing good too. Just kind of going through that phase of, you know, how toddlers be doing, you know. So overall, everybody is doing good. As far as like the kids and him. So I had somebody ask me, like, do they understand what's going on? Do they know you're getting married and just all of these things? So yes, they do. So I've always tried to be pretty open with my kids as far as like everything goes. I have conversations with them based on their age range. Okay. So I'm obviously not going to be talking to them like I'm talking to my friends, but I mean, like, I have conversations with them so they can understand things based off of their age. So they already obviously knew who he was. We were very patient. We took things very slow. When he did meet them for the first time, we took them to an arcade and like we all just got on the go-karts together and played games. That was their first time like really interacting with him. And then of course, throughout time, he would come over from time to time, and then we would hang out with each other, go to the park all together, play little like board games and stuff like that, just to like, so they can get more comfortable with each other and stuff like that. So they already knew who he was. When I did get engaged, I told them like, hey, he asked mommy to marry him. So do you know what this means? And of course, my oldest was like, yes, that means that, he is my stepdad. Da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, that's right. So we did have those conversations. And I did tell her like, yes, you do have a stepdad. It does not mean that he's replacing anybody or anything like that. It just solely means that you have two dads. You have a biological dad. That is the person who created you. And then you have a bonus dad / a stepfather. That's the one who is going to be helping mommy raise you. You're going to see that person, more. And the reason for that is obvious reasons. Y'all know that their biological father is not in their life. And I will always open that opportunity and welcome that opportunity. But I'm not going to force no grown man to do the right thing and be in their kid's life. So it is what it is, obviously we moved on. So it's like that door will always be there if it wants to, but obviously you're going to be around your stepdad more for obvious reasons. Okay. So she understands the concept. They both understand the concept. I've had that conversation with them more than once. Like, this is your stepdad. This is your bonus dad. It's not replacing anybody or anything like that. You just have two dads. And I just made sure they kind of understood the differences and what that role is going to be like now and all of that. And that's just pretty much what it is. Like, we have all spent time together as a family after we got engaged and married and all of that. Like, and everything's just cool. Like, we all are just fine. We're good, like happy. Like, I mean, everything's good. So it's a lot more changes. Like I said, I'm definitely going to take y'all on the journey of us like moving and do like probably like a new house tour and just things like that, because it's a lot of changes coming. So I will keep y'all updated on when that stuff happens. And like I've said, as far as their father goes, I've already pretty much answered that, but no, it's still the same situation. No communication. They don't really talk to him. He don't call them, check on them, get them, or anything like that. So that situation is pretty much the same. And it's been that way for like 2.5 years now. So that's pretty much that. Okay. So that is the life updates. So let's get into today's topic. Okay, so today's topic is accepting change. I have heard many stories and even know people personally to where they have stayed in a relationship for quite some time, even when the relationship does not serve their best purpose. Okay. And when I say that, I mean like it just is that they know that it's time to be over and done with that, but they just haven't. Okay. And it's for a variety of reasons. Sometimes you have children with that person, so you want to try to make things work, obviously, if you can. Sometimes people just have a fear of like, I don't want to be alone. That's a big one. Like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be by myself. How am I going to do this on my own? Some people have in relation codependency problems to where they're afraid of change. They don't know financially what they're going to do, or they just can't see themselves without somebody else. And when we're talking about change today, I'm not just specifically talking about romantic relationships. This can be in relation to friends that you've been friends with a long time, a dead-end job that you've been working that is stressing you out, and family members that you may need to cut ties with. Accepting change is accepting change in every aspect. So the biggest thing you can do in your life that has worked for me and many others is just really start your spiritual journey and have a relationship with God. And that relationship with God can mean different things to different people. People have different religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, etc. But definitely have a spiritual relationship, spiritual awareness. Spiritual health is very, very important, because I personally feel like everybody was brought here for some type of purpose in earth, brought here to do something, have some type of purpose. And I feel like there's people who come to earth and waste time. They don't go after their purpose. They don't try to tap into their higher self. They don't try to do better. They're literally here just wasting time and wasting space. Hold on, y'all. My phone is ringing. Hold on. Okay, sorry, y'all. That was my man calling me. But no. So seriously though, like, you have to be ready for change. Change is not going to be pretty. Please don't get confused by looking at girls' healing journey on TikTok or online and seeing all of these beautiful like material things and her smiling and pop out with a new person, all of that. Please don't get too confused thinking that that's what that is, because no, those are the benefits that come after your healing journey. Your healing journey, let me tell you, it looks a lot like sorrow. It's a lot of crying for a lot of people. It's a lot of praying. It's a lot of your pride and ego being stripped away from you. It's like a dark night of the soul type of thing. If you don't know what dark night of the soul is, look it up, especially on TikTok. Look it up. But it's basically like pushing you and pushing you in a way that is good. It's pushing you in a way of change. Like, if you start to realize like, dang, everything seems to be going wrong. Like, why did this person keep doing this? Or why does this job keep doing this? Why does this family member keep acting like this towards me personally? I'm feeling attacked. A lot of times it is God pushing you in a new direction, in a new frequency, and new vibration. You have outgrown a lot of people and a lot of things, and you have to accept that and realize that and move on. Too many times we will try to change people, and we are just wasting time and energy doing that. When people already show you who they are, you cannot change them. You have to accept people for who they are and move accordingly, because you will waste so many years and so much of your youth and so much of your energy on trying to change the unchangeable. Okay. That person, that they just are who they are. Okay. So stop trying to think that you're going to change them, change their mind about you or anything like that. So many girls, myself included in the past, to where I would try to show my value so much to a man who has already deemed my value to him as pretty much low. Okay. And you would try to show them in ways of like, look, I am great. I'm wife material. I'm this and I'm that. And you'll try to do certain things to show them, when again, the whole time in their mind, they already made up what you are to them, which is convenience. Okay. So baby, if you don't hear anything of what I'm saying, please hear that when it's time to go, it's time to go. Point blank, period. And don't nobody got to understand it. I don't care who questions you about it. If you feel internally, spiritually, and God has told you it's time to go, it's time to go. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what I say, it don't matter what she say, it don't matter what he say, it matters what God say. And if God say it's time to go, then baby, it's time to go. Okay. And we might not understand why at certain timing, why things happen, why we're being pushed to go and all these things. But as time progresses, you will see why. So we just have to learn to accept change and realize that things are only temporary. Like, yeah, it gets rainy. Yeah, it even be storming, but it always is a sunny day that's coming. Rain doesn't last forever. Storms don't last forever. Bad weather don't last forever. It's always going to be a sunny day that is going to be following that. So just keep that in mind. Okay. I kind of wish it sometimes that I could have recorded my spiritual journey just so y'all could see how many nights I was sad, how many nights I was randomly waking up crying, how many nights I really had to try, days I really tried to stay strong and act like everything was good internally because my children was looking at me and around me, when after my daughter would cry, I would go cry. Like, seriously, that's really how it be. Your healing journey is not always going to be pretty. Change is not always going to be pretty, but just keep in mind that it is only temporary. It's not going to last forever, but you have to move when it is time to move. And again, that could be romantically, that could be cutting off friends, that could be cutting off family, that could be leaving a job for something else. But when it's time to move, it is time to move. If God says it's time, then it's time. The best thing that I can advise you, though, is that if you are deciding to take any type of major change in your life, make sure that you are starting your spiritual journey. Okay, tap back in internally to start this journey. And sometimes that means that you have to detox yourself. You have to cleanse yourself. So you might have to go on a fast. You might have to pray more. You might have to meditate more. You might have to journal more. But it's going to guide you in the right direction that you need to be in. A lot of people don't take their spiritual health seriously. You know, we talk about our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, even financial health. But a lot of people, you know, neglect their spiritual health, and then they wonder why all these bad things keep happening to them, or they can't reach the level that they're trying to reach. Is because spiritually you are not healthy. If you are feeding your soul and spirit toxic things, like listening to toxic music all day every day, listening to toxic watching toxic television all day every day, drama all day every day, eating toxic foods all day every day, you are making your spirit very dirty. You have to learn how to cleanse. And that means sometimes you might have to fast. Sometimes you might have to go without social media. Sometimes you might have to, you know, just do different things. And it's not saying that you have to do it forever. It just means that, like, you need to have a balance of it. If you are going to listen to bad music, for example, for a week straight, which I don't recommend, then how about the next 7 days you listen to other type of music, or uplifting music, etc. You know, and think about it when I say this, because they have already done studies with music in relation to the brain and behavior. So think about people who you know who listen to toxic music, like music that's violence, music that is like sexual all day, every day. And then look at their life. Is their life full of drama? Is their life not peaceful? Are they promiscuous? Like, it is what we are feeding our brains, okay? And what we are feeding our spirits. So again, you have to have a balance. You need to learn how to fast. You need to learn how to cleanse yourself when you need to cleanse yourself. So, you know, accept change. If it's time to change, then it's time to change. And you'll know when it's time to change because spirit will tell you it's time to change. You might even hear it through this video that it's time to change. Like, sis, he's not it. That's not your husband. That's not your person. If you're a man, that she ain't it. You didn't give her chance after chance. That's not your wife. She not it. Why are you still wasting time? Why are you still wasting energy? You keep praying and asking God for change to change this person, but God has already answered you and said to leave so I can get you that change. But how can new come in when old is still there? You know what I mean? And another thing that I have realized too, sometimes the reason that you can't reach the level you're trying to reach financially is because you have people still tied to you who's not supposed to go with you to that level. So you have to learn how to cut out certain people that is not meant to reach that level with you. And why? It's because it will be toxic and low vibrational when you get there. Let's say that you want to be a millionaire business owner, right? But you are tied to a person who is very toxic, very controlling, very low vibrational. When you reach that level, those toxic behaviors in that person is going to triple, because now you have money with that. You might have fame with that. You might have attention with that. That in them is going to triple, which is going to affect you. So just realize some people and some things just aren't meant to go with you. Okay, so be willing to let go and accept change. There is so many confirmations I had when I was still questioning, like, man, this is kind of scary doing this on my own, and I'm only making this amount of money and blah, blah, blah. There were so many times where I was so nervous to change. Like, I was afraid of change. I knew I needed to do change for quite some time. So I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to try and keep on trying to work this out, even though it's toxic and blah, blah, blah. But as soon as I was like, you know what, let me just listen to God, because this has to happen. Like, it's time. That's when everything changed for me. That's when peace really came to my life. That is when everything prospered, everything. So again, sometimes people hold you back. And when you obey and listen to what God's trying to tell you to do, everything will follow it. Everything. Finances, housing, whatever you need, it will follow it if you are obeying God and doing what you are supposed to do. So accept change, y'all. I promise you, it might storm, but it's always going to be a sunny day after it. And you can use my story and my situation as a testimony. Okay, many of y'all already know my story, but I will also tie my divorce story in the comments below. Okay, which was obviously from years ago. So, but that is all I have for today. If you like this kind of content and you feel like it helped you, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.